to another show of Sipping Tea with Shols and Vee. We're glad that you're tuning in today. Don't forget to hit us up on all our socials, give us a follow, and join the conversation. Today we've got something special lined up for you. We're sitting down with the incredible cast of the UK movie that's taking over the UK by storm, The Change. A few weeks back, we had the absolute pleasure of attending the premiere, and let me tell you, it was everything. Not only did the movie blow us away, but it was also our first premiere, so you know me and V were turned up for it.
Right, so for those of you who haven't caught it yet, The Change is an independent masterpiece straight out of North London, directed by the one and only Can I Brinks. If you haven't seen it, you need to fix that ASAP. Later on, we're diving into a juicy topic, teenage relationships. We're also talking about when, if ever, it's okay for your kid's partner to spend the night under your roof. Is it a no-go, or is there a right time? We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts on SoundCloud or WhatsApp. Let's get on with the show. Let's get it.
So we'd like to welcome on the cast, well, a few of the cast that we've got here right now from The Change. So welcome. Thank you for coming into the studio today.
No problem.
You can just start off by just introducing yourself, telling us your name.
I'm Carol.
And I am Silva Rose.
You want to come in and introduce yourself, young man?
Give the young man a room now.
I'm Malik.
Nice to meet you, Malik.
Okay, so you were all in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, can each of you tell us a bit about your character? Yeah, tell us a little bit about your character, who you play. Don't go into too much detail because we don't want to give it away to the people that are listening.
I feel like Mummy should go first, innit?
Listen, I'm happy. Yes.
Pull the mic down, Mum, so we can hear you.
All right, there's
All
a
right.
told story right here. Yeah? Hi, my name's Carol Moses, and I play the mum in The Change. This lady behind me, Rosie, plays my daughter, and this young man behind me, Malik, plays my son.
Okay.
Yeah, go
Nice.
into the details of their own connection. But yeah, it was a privilege and a pleasure to do this community film. It really was. But as we get on in the interview,
We'll get more into
we'll
it.
understand why it was such an important project and why it is still important and why we need the backing of the community.
Of course.
Was it challenging, like, getting into your character or, like, relating to your character? How easy did you find it to relate to your characters?
Me personally,
Yeah.
it was, unfortunately, it was quite easy to jump in.
Yeah,
It was
like
quite
everyday life,
easy
innit?
to jump into that character because it is a life that I recognise and I understand.
So you
To be quite
connected
honest.
with your character?
Instantly.
Yeah. And what about the others? What about yourselves?
Really, for me, it was just like, it was the first time thing. I was younger. I didn't have no experience in movies. I just came. It was easy. It was just natural to me. Like,
Your acting was very well still, so you done good
yeah, thank you.
for the first time.
But still, like, people told me you can't tell really that it's my first time, and I feel like this is something that I want to do in the future as well.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you in the future and have you on
Yeah,
the next thing to
definitely.
interview you,
Yeah. And
Hi.
the daughter.
So, what was the question again?
So tell us, like, how easy was it for you to get
Into your
the
character.
role.
And, like, how did you find relating to that character? Did you relate to your character at all?
I did relate to my character. I think it was quite a simple role for me to fall into. I feel like there were challenging parts of the movie as that character. I feel like for all of us, in terms of, like, certain scenes that were quite emotional and being able to get into the emotions as that character, I feel like that was probably the bit that I found hardest.
Yeah.
Have you done acting before?
I've done like minor things like short films and like
Right.
very grassroots projects. I've never done anything on this level. So,
Right, okay.
yeah.
I was going to say, because your characters do go through, there's quite a significant experience that happens in the movie. I don't want to say because I don't want to give it away
Of course,
for
yeah,
people.
yeah.
And so, you know, it was good to, it was interesting and it was good to see you actually transform into that, because when, especially Carol, when you was crying, I got a little emotional, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it was really touching.
You played that part well.
You did. You played the sadizzle out of that part. Like, you know, you all done great, but you know, it was really good to see you transform.
not meaning
Bring
to
it down now.
make it political or anything, but unfortunately I find that those of us highly melanated mothers, aunties, cousins, we've all at some stage had that apple in the throat moment. We've all at some stage gone, please God make him all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately. And that's why I say, unfortunately, being able to play that role wasn't a stretch, because what my character goes through is something that we, if we have not gone through, then we fear it for our boy children.
We have friends
specifically.
and family that have experienced it.
Yeah.
Of course, definitely. So it's easier to relate to.
What did you first realise that acting was your passion?
Oh, for me, it started from early. Apparently, one of my uncles says that I walked into the living room one time when I was about 5. And I just went, yeah, everyone, I'm going to be an actress and I'm going to go to Hollywood and I'm going to go to school and they're going to teach me how to be an actress and I'm going to win an Oscar. Bye! At 5.
Yeah, I think for me it was a little bit different because
Bring them back
I don't think I ever said to myself, I want to be an actor in particular.
Yeah.
But I have always been interested in the arts. And whether that's performing arts or even visual arts and things like that. I like photography, I like drawing. So I was always interested in expressing myself in any way possible, and I like doing a multitude of different arts. So
Yeah, that's good. Options open.
acting is just another part of that and another way to express myself and be able to be creative.
Just another part of your artistry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely. And for you, sir?
For me, it's just really, it was just like, why not? It's just a nice opportunity to have, and I could benefit from it tons. And now that I found out that I actually liked it, I want to pursue it. I want to do more in acting.
So when you heard about the role and it was offered to you, like, what made you take it on? What made you think, I'm going to do this?
No, my mum basically explained to me that it was like a good opportunity and it's a good skill set to have. And it's something that will show people an actual story, because a story has a meaning.
Right, of course, yeah.
Oh, have we not explained that this is my son? I don't think we've actually.
No, you
guys
haven't.
know.
Right, yes,
But
yes.
everyone else
So
knows.
give them the
She
backdrop, the
doesn't
back line,
understand that,
the link here.
We should probably say that, yeah. So this is my son. He's 14, he's going to be 15. When he took on the role, he was 10 years old at the time.
Wow.
Right. So obviously that kind of gives you a bit more of a background as to why at the time he might not have necessarily been like, I want to be an actor.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
But after having this experience, he's where he is now.
Well done.
Talk.
No, I've got nothing else to say.
Can I just add, without knowing, it really is a community. It really is a community film because,
Of course.
you see, Rosie, I know her mum.
Yeah.
Me and her mum went to primary
Okay.
school.
Wow.
You see that?
The history,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Proper, like, old-time friends, you get
Okay,
me?
right.
And she's the one that brought me onto this.
And
Look at that.
funnily enough, Auntie Carol is like an inspiration to me, action-wise.
This is lovely.
Because the first time I saw her acting was on an advert, and I was like, "Oh my God, that
There's
is
my
mum's
auntie."
friend." Have
Okay,
you
yeah,
watched
yeah,
this couple? And it was just a simple like walk through a what was it? You was in like a petrol station or something,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And it was
that was years ago.
to even remember that. Yeah, I was so little, and to see that, I was like, "Oh wow." No matter where we come from, we can
do this. This is it. When you
Yeah.
see someone you know as well, it's more
Yeah.
like, it's more reachable. Do you know what I
I
mean?
don't even know if she even knows that like that.
Well, I do now, and thank
How
you very
touching.
much. But
You
you know,
see?
that's another example of why representation matters.
No, of
Because
course.
sometimes you might think that you are what you come from, and therefore that what you come from is all you can experience in the world. And I think more and more and more, we're learning and passing on to our children. That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a
You must never box
bona
yourself off. Do you know what I mean?
Never, ever, ever in life, and never, ever in life let someone do it to you.
Of course. Don't let no one tell your story. Do you know what I mean?
Understand, you're in control of your narrative.
This is it. This is it.
I feel like that was a big thing that stood out to me about the premiere in general. Just like being able to be there. See my
Don't get
son
too
there.
much into the premiere because
No,
I'm
but
going to
just
ask
to
you.
see my
Yeah.
son there and
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
so many black people
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. You all came together and created
was
this.
Such an amazing
And it took
thing.
so long as well, but everybody stayed. No one gave up. Do you know what I mean? Everybody persevered, and look what happened. Look what was created at the end of it. Do you get me?
Right, exactly.
And it's from the ends. You know, like it's more touching as well. When you're seeing people from the
Exactly.
ends, you're seeing the roads and everything. It means more. Do you know
But
what I
the
mean?
quality of the film is not from the ends.
No,
Do you
exactly.
understand what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
Black excellence at its finest. Like,
Definitely.
And glow up at its finest as
Definitely,
well.
definitely. So how would you say your experience on the change has influenced your perspective on acting or shaped your future aspirations in the industry? In the industry.
See, we filmed this, you know, kind of cheekily towards the end of lockdown.
Okay.
Our parts, anyway. And up until that point, although I classify this as the second half of my acting career. I mean, not to dwell on it too much, I lost a child in 2001.
R.I.P.
Had to take a lot of time to heal and repair. By the time this opportunity came around now, even though I was acting, I weren't auditioning or nothing. And I definitely weren't doing film, and I definitely weren't trying to do it
Put yourself out there kind of thing.
No, seriously, even though it was still a passion secretly. So when I did this now, I hadn't really done much in a really long time.
Yeah.
But afterwards I went, you see me, right? I'm getting back to what I love.
Yeah.
2 years later, I found an agent, did my professional re-debut in the theatre, and then since I've been very, 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 very fortunate, touch wood, this year, that a lot of stuff is coming out next year. And for me, what it did, it was a reminder. It was a reminder of what I can do, because sometimes life and the trauma of the experiences in your life can lead you to forget, and you just go into survival mode.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And what this film did for me, indeed, I don't even know, it took me out of the survival mindset, because it reminded me that I do have something to offer.
Yeah.
Other than just being a grieving mum who's healing.
Definitely.
Take us onto our next question. Now that you've finished filming The Change, what's next for your careers? Do you have any projects, like you just spoke about, Carol? But for the others, do you have any projects or anything that you're focusing on now, whether it's acting, music, or anything?
So for me, I'm focusing a lot on my music. I've got an EP coming up by the end of the year, beginning of next year. It's like a lot of it's gonna take you back to 90s R&B, but with
What's this called?
Twist. It's called Pouring My Heart Out. So I'm a rapper.
Okay.
I'm a rapper. I'm not a singer. And this is going to be me singing for the first time and really touching on some emotions that I haven't touched through my rapping.
You get it, girl.
I also have an open mic night that I do monthly at the Hanway.
Where's that?
That's W1C1 UG, Tottenham Court Road.
Okay.
And
Times?
so my promotion company is called COPO Promotions.
Right.
You can find us on Instagram at COPO Music Promotions.
Wicked.
And yeah, we have monthly open mic nights for up and coming artists to give them an opportunity to express themselves and get themselves out there and network and so on and so forth. Next month on the 27th, we've got actually a competition where we're giving away £100 money prize and studio and whatever. So yeah, I've got a few things like that going on. In terms of my son, I really want to help him because he's now, like he just mentioned to you, I'll let him speak in a second for himself, seeing the opportunities that he might have available to him in terms of performing arts. And I feel like he wants to go down that route a little bit more. So I want to try to help to manage that for him as well.
Yeah, put him on the ladder.
Yeah. So as she said, I want to further myself. So I want to make my portfolio. I want to get stuff so I'm able to be out there. So then when it comes for something else that I have all of this stuff ready. So I can
lined up.
So I can go on some British Top Boy or whatever, something like that.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it.
Thinking big is good. It's good. Manifest it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he specifically showed interest in action movies and
Marvel,
superhero.
All that jumping around business.
Inspired by Supercell.
Okay.
Well, actually, my friend works on the Marvel movies. He helps to make the
You
movies.
see it? That's why it's good
Yeah.
to talk. Watch Connections though. We'll talk after.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, no, that's really good. Bing?
So how did you feel at the premiere of The Change? What was the most memorable moment for you, and how did you think the audience received the film? How do you think the storyline was delivered?
Just my most memorable, what I can remember the most from watching the movie is just the whole experience, everything. The red carpet, the pictures, the movie, everything was just perfect.
The whole experience.
Except for the first part, when they had sound connections, but then other than that, it was just amazing. And then, what was the second part?
How do you think the audience received the film? How do you think the
They
audience?
enjoyed it, to be honest. Everyone was enjoying it. There was nothing really, to to be honest, there's nothing that I saw that was that bad. Like nothing. It was just a beautiful experience. All of the actors together, really coming. Because this movie took years, of course.
That's it.
It took years
That's
to
it.
release. But now that it is out, it's just like.
And you're a part of it. It must feel
Yeah.
great. Do you know what I mean? It's a good
great
experience.
feeling, really.
You know that in the future, way in the future, when you have children and stuff like that, you'll be able to show them this
This is
movie,
it.
and they'll be able to see, you know, this is Dad and
That's
that's
your
my
starting point.
grandma
And grandma,
Do you know what I mean?
acting
The whole
together.
family- and Auntie Carol. Do you know what I
Auntie
mean?
Carol.
So
Innit?
yeah, that's
The
why I
whole
said
family
way
thing.
in the future. But no, that is such a great legacy to have. So well done to you. Well done for
Definitely.
persevering and. Yeah, man, I'm getting goosebumps. I love
No,
to
innit,
see
yeah.
young people do.
I feel like you're gonna go faster. I just have a good feeling I'm gonna see him again on something and see
Just
his
remember, we
acting
tell
career
all
go
our
up,
guests,
so-
you know, when you get big, do not
Don't forget us, do you understand?
Yeah, make sure
We'll have
you
him
come
back on,
back.
man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when you're toning up in your Bentley.
This is the starting
Yeah.
of his career, innit? So it only gets better from here.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Don't just pick up the women either. Make sure you pick up mummy.
No, it is.
That's right, that's right.
Mummy first, ladies after. You get
Yes.
me?
Always.
And for yourselves as well, do you want to answer that question? How did you feel about the premiere and the reaction from the audience?
My personal highlight was having 2 of my nephews there.
Okay.
Actually, that was my personal highlight. And when my name came up, before they even saw me acting, woo, woo, woo,
Yeah,
woo.
yeah, yeah,
'Cause of
excited.
course they know my personal journey. anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then for just that thing about being able to see someone who's connected to you, living out their dream and knowing their story,
Yep, yep,
and knowing
yep.
to your own self, you know, I can do that, you know, if my auntie can do that, if my mum can do that, yo,
Yeah, yeah.
I can do it too. So for me, that was the personal highlight when my little nephew turned around when he saw when he saw the crying scene, and he was like, auntie, is that you? Yes, what
That's
auntie
me,
does.
nephew.
Yeah, that's what auntie does, you know.
That's my side hustle.
And for me, the audience reaction was everything.
Yeah.
Because it was like being in theatre. It was audience participation.
It really
You know
was
what
a
I mean?
vibe.
It
I'm
was
going to be
like
honest.
Call and response.
Yeah, definitely.
It was absolutely beautiful, even with the technical hiccup, because there was a slight technical hiccup
Just,
in
yeah.
the beginning, and then we had to rewind it.
Yeah.
It's like it was meant to be, because when we rewound it and started it again, it's like everyone was with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone was with it. And I think everybody understanding, a bit like Rosie said, you know, that night, it was pure, highly melanated people.
Yeah, it was
and
lovely.
it was heavily dominated by the heavily melanated males.
Men.
But it was so encouraging and
Yeah.
so loving. There wasn't a hint of tension. It was just about support, because everyone knew this was a journey that was peppered with broken glass.
Yeah.
You get me?
And the cheers from the audience proved that, you know, every now and then the film was on and there was cheers and there was laughter. And
There was
I mean,
a lot of
you could see he was
laughter.
enjoying it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it was
what I
nice.
wanted to say. Like, can I step up quickly? That's what I wanted to say was my highlight, because we was ourselves. You
Which
know,
is, it makes it so much easier.
As a black person, we all know too well that experience of having to code switch and dumb down ourselves. And we was in the cinema,
Yeah.
being ourselves. There was no one to tell you, shh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
and
even see people
don't
drinking.
make noise. And listen, we was getting on.
Getting
And that
litty.
was my highlight. That was
It
my
was, it
highlight.
was.
We was in the Big People Them studio, in the Big People Them cinema, not just no little nigga cinema.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
A
Proper.
nice
And it was
cinema.
packed.
Yeah, and we was doing us.
And everyone dressed up nice. It was so nice to see everyone.
yeah.
Everyone came out nice for
And
the
that's what I'm
occasion. Do you know what I mean? We all
saying.
scrubbed up well. You get
Because
me?
there's a place where the way how he was acting, they might call it ghetto.
Right,
But I
yeah.
would never call it that. It was black excellence.
This is it. It's
was
life.
us
Do you understand
being
me?
us and
It's our
achieving
journey.
Something. Yeah.
So this next question is honouring a legacy. Yeah. So the loss of your co-star, who sadly passed away before the
My
film was
brethren as well.
completed, must have been incredibly difficult. How did the cast and crew cope with the loss, and how did it influence the completion of the film?
So I feel like that's a question for more of the other
As well,
crew
yeah,
members.
definitely. We'll have to
Because
brace that back again for
although
Can I and them.
we're involved in the film and we know people closely that are involved in the film, we wasn't part of the scenes that he was in.
Did you know Bougie personally?
I know of him, but I don't know
Okay,
him
okay.
personally.
Okay.
that's
Carol
why
might know
I
him.
say
Okay.
none of us
I
know
knew him still.
personally.
Right,
So
right,
I
right.
feel like I don't want to
No,
Yeah.
but
They
Sue,
need
you
to
don't
say
have
their
to go
piece.
into great detail.
But I do feel like obviously it affected the movement of the film, and it
Yeah.
affected a lot of people close to the film, and it changed the dynamics of how the film needed to be shot
Yeah.
and things like that. So we definitely felt it because we were the people that came in after the fact, and now we had to feel the pressure of we gotta make this work. Do you
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
Definitely.
Even though the direction of the film is now gonna have to change due to the loss of one of the cast members.
That just goes to show how long it took to make as well, because not like that, but he was alive when it started, and then by the time it came together, sadly he had passed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I felt really touched. I kind of forgot he was in the movie, so when he came up on it, I felt really touched, like because
Everyone.
he was such a lovely guy, and as soon as I
Yeah.
saw him, I just remembered everything like from back in the day and everything like that, and I was just like, man, such a good one. A good one was lost there, man. You get
But
me?
I feel like
I was
that's
happy to
what's
see him in there.
amazing about films and things like this.
The
yeah.
memories, isn't it? And like at least we can have
these
that
are
to look
things
back
are
on.
gonna live forever. And now
His kids can see
he's
that,
not
and
here, right?
Mhm.
But his character and what he did is gonna still have an impact
this is it, yeah.
because it hasn't even got out there yet.
This is it,
Do
yeah,
you get what
yeah,
I mean? I think
yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah.
like the beauty of it a little bit.
Yeah.
And kind of not to take it there, but to take it there. On a spiritual level, you know, she knows what she's doing. The universe knows what she's doing. And sometimes when something is lost or taken away,
Yeah.
she does her best to replace that space, that energy. Do you know what I mean? And in a funny way, I don't know if I would even be in this film if it weren't for the hiatus it took. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If it weren't for the pause, and then the looking at what they had and what they felt, then had to be injected into this story. If it weren't for the fact that, okay, now we need to really honour. And how do we honour? We got to bring in our family. Do you know what I mean?
I think you lot done a great job in honouring.
I didn't know him, just leaving him. But as soon as he came on camera, I kind of figured out who he was because of the big school reception
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. So I felt that you lot did honour him well. And you know, has he got children? Do you know?
he has.
Okay, so this is something that his children to be able to look back and see.
Yeah.
So I think you lot honoured him really well in the movie.
I hope
And,
so.
You know, I'm hoping that his family are proud, and I'm sure they are proud. Who wouldn't be? And his children definitely. I can imagine they're proud of their dad. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, definitely.
And he was very talented. He was, if I'm not wrong, a producer. He was an artist. He was an actor. You get me? And he was a dad. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. And I mean, R.I.P. to Bougie still. Okay, so for those of you who are eager to watch The Change, how can they access the film? And are there any special screenings or platforms where it is available? So where can guys go and yeah.
So again, that's another question for some
Okay,
of the
yeah?
people that are on the way. But what I can tell you is that we are in talks with streaming services, so it will be available on streaming.
You hear that,
services.
people? You heard it here first,
I
yeah?
can't tell you which one.
Oh, come on, come on, Silva.
But, yeah,
That's an exclusive, guys. All right,
we
so
will be posting any details
Yeah,
anyway on all of our socials.
definitely.
So just stay locked at The Change Film on Instagram.
Yeah.
And there's a website on there as well, thechangefilm.com, where you'll have any updates and anything that you need.
Wicked.
okay. Want to
Right.
thank you guys for coming into the studio and answering some questions. I just want to say for the people that are listening at home, listen. I'm going to tell you, go and see the movie, and I'll tell you why to go and see the movie. I went to the premiere, and it was an amazing experience. But forget the experience. We're going to talk about the movie. This movie was self-funded. This movie was produced by people from the community. It was made by the community for the community to share worldwide. And we need to start supporting our own people, not just our own, but we need to start supporting black people, young black men that are trying to achieve something. We have a director here, a writer, a whole film crew that have put together this movie, and we need to support them. And the only way they're going to be able to go on to do bigger and better movies is if we support what they've done now. So definitely, we're going to find out where